polar deep freeze that brought -40 temperatures is over, and the long-term forecast is predicting temperatures in the 40s and 50s, meaning all this lovely fresh snow is going to melt and make a muddy mess. The winds, once again, has moved a roof section. They weigh well over 148 pounds, and still the wind was strong enough to literally shift it halfway off the support base. It's wedged into a dirt mound, so hopefully it'll stay put. We're wrapping up a punch list of preparations that need to get done before this roof gets lifted, and hoping the weather and winds cooperate. The last time heavy equipment was out here, their truck got stuck up to the chassis and needed to get towed out. We've got our work cut out for us today. We need to put plywood sheeting on the rest of the barn, and we weren't going to do that initially until after the roof was on, but apparently once they start lifting the sections, if there are open spaces like this, it creates a vacuum effect, and the roof with the wind, it'll just it'll lift and it'll move and shift. So we can't have that, and the crane's coming in a couple days, so we have our work cut out for us to get this done. Nailing the top row sheets went surprisingly faster than we'd anticipated, and as much as we enjoy climbing up the ladder, down the ladder, move the ladder, up the ladder, down the ladder, well, you get the idea. We're ready to move on. Swanee in South Africa, this one's for you. You've been wondering when the crane is coming, and today is the day. The roof is going on today, so we're waiting for the crane to get here. They're about a half an hour away, and if all goes well, we will have a roof on this by the end of the day. You've lost some weight.
Yeah, left it in the pizza joint.
Left it at the pizza joint?
Yep. Alright, I have to make some adjustments. Never to make it smaller.
What's your secret? Can you let me in on that secret?
Oh, it's just marriage.
Well, we have half of a roof.
3/4.
Who built this leaky roof?
Well, Mark always, when he was putting the brackets up, it was like, found another leak. Well, yep, there would be. Just putting the hurricane ties down on it. It's quite a tough job putting hurricane ties both sides of the truss. So each side, each eave truss will have 2 hurricane ties, and every truss will have a hurricane tie, not every other one. So there are 22 trusses. So it'll be 44 hurricane ties on the west side and 44 hurricane ties on the east side. So these 22 trusses will have, what did I say? 44, 88 trusses, 88 hurricane ties, 88 hurricane ties holding 22 trusses to the walls.
Mm-hmm. And we had the perfect day for it.
Oh, yesterday was absolutely phenomenal.
With blue skies, warm, 0 wind. We couldn't have asked for a better day. Nobody got hurt. It was quick.
That's always good.
It took about 2 hours, which is basically on the money because they were saying 30 to 40 minutes per lift.
And the 5 lifts.
And there's 5 lifts. And so not including the setup and breakdown. Yeah, it was about 2 hours to do it.
Considering this is the first time we've ever done anything like this, and then we did it to a larger scale than one would expect to do it on your first time. It was tremendously stressful to see this come to the end. We've had a couple of challenges with the walls because obviously, we put the posts up and then the rain and the wind came and everything moved. I spent so many days and hours trying to get this all square, and I didn't brace it, which is what I should have done. I didn't have anything to brace them in their perfect alignment. But because they just posted into the ground, right? There's no cement at this time or concrete at this time. And we were told it should be fine, but with hindsight, I would have done it differently.
And it looked like you guys were, at one point, these pieces that, what do you call them? Like the connections between...
The blocking? The
between
pieces
the two? Pieces that connect one truss to the other.
Yeah, the blocking.
It looked like it was giving you guys some issues, so you knocked them off, some of them.
Yeah, we had to tweak it. It's made of wood.
Because we're what, 2 inches out of square?
Yeah, when I measured this diagonally across corner to opposite corner, I was 2 inches out of square when we started. And then over time, everything moved. And I don't understand it, but the walls are not, the gable ends aren't exactly parallel. They're off by about 4 inches. So it's trapezoid by about 4 inches. We've had to jockey that. We're not perfect. We had to jockey it.
But over 80 feet, like, I think that's...
First time over 80 feet, 4 inches. I'm mad about it, but because of the effort I put in, that's why I'm mad about it. But I learned, I can assure you of one thing, we learned tremendously from this. And I need to just accept and put this into our wisdom bucket of education. If I had to do this again, I know I'd be so much more comfortable. Far less second guessing, being able to see problems coming up, understand what the problems and the consequences are of what you're exactly doing. But the way that the ground and everything else has moved, I would have probably concreted them in. I would do it differently. Because I've also, with the moisture and the rain and the wind and the ground moving and wood being a natural, non-conforming, non-stable product, our north end is 6 inches wider than the south end, right? Which is fine. We've had to pull some posts in because the water had moved them out and all that sort of thing. But as the crew that came here to put the roof on said, it's a post building. Mm-hmm. Like this an old barn, they move.
Yeah, it's gonna move over time. So.
Yeah, and this is not a forever building anyway.
I don't want to build it again.
We're not building this again. We're building something else again. This will morph into something else. This is just
we'll see about that.
A construction building for the most part. I'd rather make mistakes on a temporary building than actually on a permanent home. Surprisingly, everybody else that has come around, I said, don't be polite. They said, we've actually done pretty damn well, considering.
Well,
yeah.
I'm proud of you. Like, this is all you. You just tell me what to do and I do it. But you planned everything, you led everything, and I just went around with a nail gun.
I'm very pleased. We're going to get there. We're going to put the last of the sheeting on to join the building, so there's a chunk of work involved in that. I can do that because I'm not going to be moving around much. And
we need to dry in the rest of the walls, and then close up the roof. So.
We need to dry it in. Got to run some drains. We're finding out where our flood points are. Flood points are kind of an irritation at the moment, but we have friends with the equipment that'll help us straighten that out. Got some more securing for weather to do. So pretty pleased. Looks very different emotionally. It's been a long journey to get here.
When they lifted the very first truss section, like my stomach was in my throat and I was thinking, please stay intact. I was just imagining the whole thing just busting apart, because that's the one that took all the abuse with the wind and
this very first one, that started walking around the homestead pad for a while with the wind. Kind of every time you come here, you wonder where it's gone.
But once they got that one on, I was okay. I was like, okay, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, we had a phenomenal crew. Very calm, very quiet, very relaxed, very helpful. Just very confident in that, and dealing with challenges. It was never like an issue. It was like, yep, this is how we do it. Just do this, just do that, and the guys got it up. So, but emotionally as well, after all of this time, we're working on a dirty construction site, just working on hope and faith and belief and just tenacity, just pure tenacity. To see a building on here after all of that, all of those blows we've been taking, and we've been taking quite a few blows. We're not talking about it, but emotionally it was a big deal to put the roof on, and to see the progress. It was this huge leap forward, and going from just faith and hope and desire and just tenacity, and it'll get there, to seeing this. Our little homestead that we've got here made a huge emotional step. The guy said, you look like you're in tears, and I almost was. Because all we had was grit just to do that. It's just her and I. That's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, I think so. We'll end it there. And we've got rain today. It's wet, so
Yeah, it's clean up.
it's going to be cleanup day for the most part. But we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for being here, all our family and all our friends.